at the Exco Chamber in Government House after it was reviewed and passed by the Edo State House of Assembly. The budget was reviewed upward from 11.3 billion naira. I'll take that again. The budget was reviewed upward by 11.3 billion naira from 153.4 billion naira earlier presented to the House by the Governor for consideration and passage, reflecting a 17.3% increase. The budget, however, retained its recurrent to capital ratio as proposed by the Governor. Governor Obaseki had on November 10th presented 153.4 billion naira budget proposal for 2021 fiscal year, comprising of 94.8 billion naira recurrent and 58.6 billion naira capital components. The House, led by the Speaker, Honorable Marcus Onobun, after consideration and passage, came back with 98.3 billion naira recurrent and 65.6 billion naira capital. Obaseki said the budget christened Making Edo Great Again budget is anchored on responding to the dislocations caused by the coronavirus pandemic.
For members of the public who have seen a much higher proportion going to recurrent expenditure, it just reflects the signs of the time we are in. So what we have just gone through, our people, the economic lives and livelihoods have been decimated. For us to rebuild our people, we must now tinker with our budgetary provisions to make more resources available so that people can live. It is only when people are alive and what they're living and they now use the infrastructure that you need to build. This is not to de-emphasize the role and importance of infrastructure, but we're seeing at this point in time in our history, in our lives, that you have done the right things. We're grateful that you have reasoned with us, you accepted our logic, that we should spend more on the people.
He assured that part of funding for the budget has been identified, including 25 billion naira 5-year bonds at 9% interest rate, which the state has successfully closed. Elsewhere, as part of its efforts in ensuring that the less privileged in the society celebrates this year's Christmas and 2021 New Year, Okonofoa Foundation has donated hundreds of thousands of naira worth of food items to 3 orphanage homes in Benin City on Wednesday. KUFM's Nlebeduma Sakwaran was there and tells us more.
The Christmas celebration is usually a period where there is enough to eat and drink. However, there are those during this period that can barely afford such celebration. But here in Benin City, hope of a Merry Christmas came alive for Iwinosa Orphanage Home, Erosa Orphanage Home, and Edo Orphanage Home. This was courtesy of the Okonofoa Foundation, who wants the children to celebrate like others, as they donated 6 bags of rice, 3 live rounds, crate of assorted soft drinks and malts, 3 gallons of 25-liter ground oil, pampers, seasoning cubes, toys for children of various ages, video games, and many more. Director of Operations, Okonofoa Foundation, Sonny Ojo, said this gesture was inspired by their understanding of the need to share with those who do not have during this Yuletide period.
We have here a bag of rice, tin tomatoes, drinks, and toys for them. Basically, it's Christmas, and Christmas is about love, it's about sharing, and that's what Jesus Christ came to die for. Like God said, He gave His Son. It's about love.
Children who are visibly happy prayed for the Okonofoa Foundation, saying that God will provide for them and will remember them during this Yuletide.
The matrimonial, that's the ability for us. May bless them, the matrimonials. May bless our family, the matrimonials. May bless our children, the matrimonials. Anywhere perform a good shall never prosper, the matrimonials. Every time the German they shall condemn the matrimonials. And the mercy of God speak for them, the matrimonials. And the mercy of God qualify them, the matrimonials. They shall never die, the matrimonials. That our pocket shall never run dry, the matrimonials. For in Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen.
At the Iwinosa Foundation, there was an appeal for a corrective surgery to be carried on the spinal cord of a 2-year-old baby boy, which would cost 3 million naira to enable him walk again.
His name is Osae Iwinosa. He was brought out like he was brought to us like this when he was 3 months old. So we took him to the hospital. So they run him tests. They say they have a spinal cord problem. So, and they refer us to UNTH. We went there to run some tests. They say that he has spinal cord problem, and the problem, they will solve it at abroad. The sum of 3.2 million, is it 3 million, something like that.
Meanwhile, the foundation was also at Egosa Orphanage Home, where the director, Egosa Ikwebo, welcomed them while praising their efforts.
With the help of Okonofwa Foundation now, you can see this now. We will not like this one. But did you know what they told me in the back when I went to take my bath? Mommy, come and see something different. This ram, not that kind of ram, big ram, good chubby ram. I said, okay, let me come and see this one. That is why I went outside to really see the ram. So we say thank you, and God Almighty will bless you all and grant your heart desire. And God will bless Okonofwa Foundation and his family. Amen. We say thank you.
Amen. The Okonofwa Foundation also visited the Edo Orphanage Home, where foodstuff and various gift items were presented to the children. Leredum Asagwaram, KUFM News.
The federal government has declared Friday 25th, Monday 28th December 2020 and Friday January 1st, 2021 as public holidays to mark the Christmas, Boxing Day and New Year celebrations respectively. Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola made the declaration on Wednesday. Aregbesola urged Christians to adopt the creed of Christ on faith, hope and love. He advised Nigerians and Christians in particular to adhere strictly to the COVID-19 protocols and guidelines as stipulated by relevant authorities during and after the Yuletide, especially with the second wave of the outbreak of the disease. Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi says in a bid to clear the gridlock at the Tin Can Island and the Papa area of Lagos, the federal government is set to deploy 200 security personnel to enforce compliance on heavy-duty trucks not to park along the road. Amechi disclosed this on Wednesday during a meeting with maritime stakeholders and the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria in Lagos. The minister, however, noted that a steering committee headed by the permanent secretary of the ministry, Magdalene Ajani, will sit monthly until the challenges are overcome. Members of the committee are expected to be drawn from the Nigerian Ports Authority, Nigerian Shippers Council, Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Federal Road Safety Commission, and the Lagos State Government. Coming up in a moment, NIMC debunks claim on breach of database. Stay with us, please.
At split seconds, there is a lot happening around us, but we can't be everywhere all the time. We've got work, families, and chores to cater to, and most importantly, time to rest. And that's why having reliable partner like KUFM News is important. Sleeping? We don't. We work round the clock, bringing you stories as they break. From Nigeria and across the world, we would stop at nothing to keep you informed. Because KUFM News is all about you and stories that affect you. Politics, business, human interests, sports, entertainment, just name it. We've got you covered. KUFM News. Timely, precise, spot on.
Welcome back. The National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, has debunked the report making the rounds that its server was breached, describing it as false. The statement signed by the head of corporate communications, Kayode Adegoke, on Wednesday assured the public that there have been no such breaches or incidents. Adegoke said investigations on the alleged data dump were found to be non-existent in the National Identity Database. He explained that the investigation carried out by the Commission on the data breach claim found out that the database schema presented by the adversary does not tally with the existing schema of NIMC records, adding that the data being posted by criminals purporting to contain citizens' information is fake. The National Coordinator of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Sani Aliyu, says the COVID-19 vaccine will be administered to Nigerians free when vaccination begins. Aliyu made this known on Wednesday during an interview. He also reviewed plans by the Nigerian government on delivering and administering the vaccine. He added that although there are fears that Nigerians may be reluctant to receive shots of the vaccines, efforts are being made to sensitize many and deliver the vaccines across the country. The All Progressives Congress, APC, has nullified the suspension of the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi. Senator Andrew Uchendu, and the expulsion of Victor Giadum by the Igor Aguma-led faction of the party in Rivers State. According to a letter by Dari Oketade, head legal services of the party addressed to Aguma, the party said those who purportedly suspended Amechi and others were not members of the party. Oketade said the party will henceforth not tolerate any acts which are calculated to disparage the leaders of the party or bring the party to ridicule for whatever motivation. He said the party will not hesitate to take necessary disciplinary measures should any member of the party in Rivers State continue to take steps in impersonating the recognized State Caretaker Committee led by Honorable Isaac Abbott Ubobula or any of his local governments or ward executives. Meanwhile, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, on Wednesday said it has conditionally suspended the strike action it embarked upon in March this year over the backlog of unmet agreements between its members and the federal government. The suspension takes effect from today. The just suspended strike action is the longest strike in the history of the country since 1999. The union said it has suspended the 9-month-old strike while it monitors the compliance level of the federal government to the concessions the government made with them. Speaking at a briefing at the union's secretariat in Abuja on Wednesday, the union's president, Biodun Oguyemi, said the decision was reached after its National Executive Council met on Tuesday. Oguyemi noted that the suspension of the strike was sequel to the understanding the union had with the federal government, to which ASU-NEC agreed upon. He said the agreements reached are to be met within January and March next year, and that failure to meet the agreement would trigger fresh industrial actions. The men of the 32 Artillery Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Akure, have killed one of the 6 bandits in a failed kidnapping and armed robbery operation along Ibilo Iswa Road in Igara village in Akoko Northwest local government area of Ondo State. The commander of the brigade, Brigadier General Zakari Abubakar, stated this on Wednesday in Akure, the state capital. The army boss narrated that the troops who were on patrol with other security agencies encountered a group of hoodlums suspected to be kidnappers while the bandits were attempting to abduct some travelers on the road. He said the bandits attempted to kidnap 3 travelers in a gold-painted Toyota Highlander 2006 model with registration number AKD 55GS. Brigadier General Abubakar explained that on sighting the troops, the kidnappers tried to engage the troops in a gun battle but were defeated due to troops' firepower. According to him, this resulted in the killing of one of the kidnappers, while others escaped into the forest with varying degrees of gunshot wounds. Abubakar noted that after the incident, 3 of the kidnapped victims were rescued and some items were also recovered at the scene of the incident. He said the recovered items include a sum of 350,770 naira, a cutlass, sachets of tramadol hydrochloride, and 1 ITEL black fern. The commander advised the general public to give useful information on any suspected criminals and their hideouts to the security agencies of the state. Coming up in a moment on our business news, the deposit money banks have accessed a whopping sum of 1.7 trillion naira from the Central Bank of Nigeria in 3 months. Details in a moment after this break.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 600 billion, and the last kobo. Oh yes, we follow the money. It's all about the business and the business of business. The gains and the losses. The bulls and bears. The rise and falls. The risk and the satisfaction of seeing the last kobo rise to millions. On KUFM's Business News, the simple and complex jargons of business just make sense. Get the trending news on the morning market, forecast, investment opportunities, policy changes, and other breakout information on the ever-busy world of business. KU Business News, Monday to Friday on our news dawn, 6:30 to 7 a.m.
Welcome back. You're still on the news dawn on 92.7 KUFM, Benin City. And on business, deposit money banks borrowed 1.7 trillion naira from the Central Bank of Nigeria in the 3rd quarter of 2020. The CBN disclosed this in its 3rd quarter economic report. Part of the report says deposit money banks and merchant banks continually accessed the standing facilities window to square up positions in the third quarter of 2020. It added that the trend at the CBN standing facilities window indicated more activities at the standing deposit facility window compared to the standing lending facility window, owing to liquidity surplus in the banking system. The report further said total standing deposit facility granted during the review quarter was 1.76 trillion naira, with a daily average of 27.55 billion naira in 61 transaction days from the 1st of July 2020 to September the 25th, 2020. On liquidity management, the report said CBN sold bills of tenors ranging from 75 to 362 days during the third quarter. Total amount offered, subscribed and allotted was 640 billion naira, 1.39 trillion naira and 625.13 billion naira respectively, with a bid rate of 6.4%, while the stop rate was 6.9%. Repayment of matured CBN bills stood at 3.29 trillion naira, translating to a net injection of 2.67 trillion naira through this medium. And finally, on business, the Bureau of Public Enterprises has refuted reports that it diverted 14 billion naira from the proceeds of the privatization of the defunct Power Holding Company of Nigeria, PHCN. According to a statement by the head public communications of the agency, Amina Othman, the funds generated from the privatization exercise of the power sector was used to settle staff liabilities of PHCN. The privatization agency urged members of the public to disregard the said allegation against it and said that it remained responsible in the discharge of its duties. And that's it on business. Over now to sports, where Rivers United recorded a 2-0 away win against Bloemfontein Celtic in the CAF Confederations Cup, as the People's Elephant, Enyimba International, lost 3-0 in the first leg of their CAF Champions League first-round tie on Wednesday. Sanofe Francis has the details in our sports bulletin this morning.
Good morning, welcome to Sport News. Rivers United recorded a 2-0 away win against Bloemfontein Celtic of South Africa on Wednesday night. The visitors started the game on a bright note with former Heartland striker Fortune Omoniwari firing a shot on target in the opening minute. Enterprising midfielder Godwin Agunda also shot wide from close range 3 minutes later. Both teams failed to break the deadlock in the first half, with Rivers United goalkeeper Theophilus Afelohi virtually on holiday. Agunda scored the curtain raiser in the 70th minute following a long period of dominance by the Nigerians. The former Enugu Rangers star has now scored 2 goals for the Port Harcourt club in the competition this season. Omoniwari added a second goal 10 minutes from time. Earlier in the day, Saifidin Maki bagged the braids by the hat-trick as Amerik trashed Nigeria's Enyimba International 3-0 in the first leg of their CAF Champions League first-round tie on Wednesday. The People's Elephant must overturn the deficit and the second leg to skate through into the next round of the competition. Still talking football, Edison Cavani and Anthony Martial struck late to send Manchester United into the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup as they won 2-0 at Everton. Cavani's stomach-calling effort from 20 yards opened the scoring in front of 2,000 fans just as the game looked set to head to penalties. With Everton chasing the game, substitute Martial added the second in stoppage time to send Ole Gunnar Solskjaer one step closer to earning his first trophy as United boss. Everton were lackluster in the second half after Richarlison went off injured, having promised so much in the first period, with Geoffrey Sigurdsson's free kick testing Dean Henderson. Defeat for Carlo Ancelotti's team ends a run of 3 successive wins, which had lifted them to 4th in the English Premier League table. Earlier, Tottenham Hotspur moved to within 2 wins of a first major trophy since 2008 after seeing off Championship side Stoke City 3-1 in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. Meanwhile, holders of Manchester City will now travel to face Manchester United In the Carabao Cup semi-final, Championship side Brentford, the lowest ranked club left in the competition, are away to Jose Mourinho's Tottenham in the other semi-final. And that's it from sports. I'm Sanofi Francis. Back to you, Charles.
Thank you very much, Francis, for those sports stories. And of course, with those stories, we come to the end of our package this morning. But before we leave, a quick recap of the headlines. In this bulletin, we told you that Governor Obaseki has signed the 2021 budget into law. Okonofa Foundation has donated Christmas gifts to 3 orphanage homes. And the federal government has declared December 25th, December 28th, January 1st as public holidays. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget, you can listen to us from anywhere in the world by visiting our website at www.kufm.net, or you can download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We are also live on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria, and you can also listen to us on radiogarden.com. KUFM News Dawn was produced by Nosahai Owadiai. I am Charles Oporum saying thanks for listening and good morning.
92.7 KUFM News. Concise, precise, balanced, on